Welcome everybody to another ducking random video. Now if you've seen last week's video, you'll know I was doing a bit of a snag list, and one of the snag list jobs was to get the shed done. That's completed. I now have a shed that stands and well, it's completely empty and we've not used it for anything since then. I also was trying to sort out this patio area because the dog keeps walking sand in the house. It looks untidy and is a right eyesore. It's a bit of a mess. There's weeds everywhere, plant pots everywhere, just empty sorts of bits and bobs all over the shop. So we're going to get that cleaned up. I did start removing a lot of the sand because it was my plan anyway to remove this whole old patio area. Unfortunately, I overestimated how much work there was and how little time I had. So part way through clearing the patio, I kind of got sidetracked decluttering the house, which is going to be in another video. So we needed to get the Catio up. This is me, right? 100 jobs at once. I started clearing the patio, then decluttering the house, which all got put out here waiting to take to the dump. And then we decided to put up the Catio so that the new addition to the family, little Nova, had somewhere outside to go without being able to wander off and getting herself hurt. So now I'm running, 3 different videos or 3 different projects at once. I've got the decluttering, I've got the sorting out of decluttering, the snag list, that's it. And then the extra products like putting up the Catio and setting up all sorts of other bits around the house. So today we're going to be working on the Catio. We've cleared the area. We're still supposed to go to the dump. We still haven't been there yet. So the bags have just been moved from this location to another location. At some point, I will get it together and we will go to the tip and take the bags of rubbish. We still have to clean out the outside toilet. There's still loads of stuff to declutter inside. There's loads of more videos to come. And at some point we will get a tip run done. Or I'll get a tip run done. I'm thinking I'm off at the weekend, so maybe we'll get it done then. But who knows? By the weekend I'll have probably come up with about 16 other projects that need to be done. And we will never get round to a tip run anyway. Honestly, I feel like I need a cash injection of about £1 million and about 2 or 3 months off of work, plus a team of builders, decorators and cleaners and landscape gardeners to get everything done that I need to get done. Because by the time I've got finished on one project, it's time to start another project, and then you work your way through the house, and by the time you get back to the beginning, that's the start stuff is so old it needs replacing again. Like the hallway that we only did a little while ago is that heavily used that it already is starting to look like it needs redecorating. You know, it's very, very much hard going. I'm sure you all know how it is. 1,000 different projects at once, and pulled in about 100 different directions. But still, we managed to get the Catio. No, we didn't even. I'm literally just about to sit here and lie to you all about how we got the Catio up. We didn't. We managed to get the Catio-ish up. We kind of ran out of time to get it finished up. So Dale was like, well, I'll do the rest of it tomorrow while you're at work. I came home from work and the living room was jam-packed full of stuff where he'd decluttered the cupboard. And by declutter, I mean he'd pulled everything out, took his stuff and put his stuff away, and then left the rest of the stuff all over the living room. Now, to give him his dues, he did finish off cleaning some of it up, but not all of it. So the cupboard is indeed decluttered and completely empty. However, the living room is just full of other stuff that I now have to find a home for. So yeah, we did. And apparently we just stood discussing the project for ages. Wow, that's boring. Should we fast forward through this bit? I kind of like the power of editing. I wish sometimes we could edit bits of our lives, but, sometimes I don't. Sometimes slowing down and doing the fluffy little twiddly bits, sometimes that's nice. But for video purposes, let's just get down with the good stuff, shall we? No one wants to see us standing there for, I don't know how long it was, assessing the situation. We do that a lot. Me and Dale seem to spend more time assessing the situation than we actually do doing the situation. We both distract each other, something fierce. Like if he's not home, I will fly through stuff. And if I'm not home, he also gets through quite a bit of stuff. But as soon as we're put back together again, it's like, no, we're distracted. It's a terrible, terrible conundrum. I don't know what to do about it. Try and focus, but no, it doesn't work. Anyway, this is going to be little Nova's new cat home. It's also going to be like a little woody area. He can have the whole run of the garden. He has full run of the whole garden. But obviously with Nova, with having so many cats in the past that have just up sticks and gone on a wander or have crossed the Rainbow Bridge with our main road out the front, it's just so much more sensible to have an enclosed, large area for Nova to go and play in. It will keep her safe. It will mean she won't be able to escape and will be so much better for everybody involved. It's not going to stay the size it is forever. As the years pass and as she grows, this will be expanded. But for now, she's, I think 13 weeks old, 14 weeks old. She's tiny. This is more than ample for her. And she also really shouldn't be going outside for 6 weeks after we get her anyway. So this is going to be more than ample for the time frame she's going to be in it. Then we're going to be extending it. And then after a little while after like that, we will be extending it again. Assuming Alyssa's still living at home by the time we get to extend it the third time or the second time. So yeah, please don't panic and think this enclosure is going to be the size of Nova's outside experience her entire life. It's going to be a bigger enclosure as she gets older. But for now, this is going to keep her safe and stop her running away and getting hurt. Me and Dell had so much fun building this. We ran out of time to build the whole thing. We had to come back inside. And like I say, we've got about 6 different projects on the go at the minute. So we really do need to start paying attention to each one of the projects and complete each one project before we move on to the next one. But it's hard because, funds run out for one thing or another thing, or the items you're using run out. There's a lot goes on. So we're just making the best we can of it, really. So let's get to building this Catio for Baby Nova. I am unboxing it very slowly. Kind of didn't feel like I was moving this slow in real life. It always does to me. I watch myself back and I'm like, la, 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 la. You're being so slow. It's painful how slow I move. I didn't think it was capable of anything moving this slow. I didn't think anything in the world moved this slow. There's sloths move faster than me. I swear of it. There's snails that could race me down the garden and win. I move so slow. God, no wonder Dell's always on about a coffee break. He's probably trying to, I don't know, keep me hydrated so I keep moving. It's painful. It's like, well, if you're going to take a week to do everything, let's have a cup of coffee first. Oh, I need to speed up. I need to be going at least 3 times faster than I go. And then maybe I'll be moving at normal person speed. Who knows? So one of the problems we faced when we've built any of the sheds, the greenhouse, anything really, is we never took the time to actually go through the checklist of all the parts we should have. We never took the time to go through each one of the instructions and check that what we were doing was correct. We just sort of, yeah, that looks right. Yeah, that looks right. Bop, 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 bop. And pop it all together, just working on sort of instinct with the instruction manual there as kind of I wouldn't even say it was a helpful thing, really. It was just kind of a thing that was there that occasionally we might look at. So this time we were going to build this properly, and I went through everything, checked that we had every single piece of every single part, checked it all off, and then and only then did we go through each individual page to build the Catio, or chicken run. It's actually a chicken run. It's not an actual Catio. It's a chicken run that we're using as a Catio, but it's going to work, so hey, I don't care what it's designed for. That's what we're using it as. We did have a really good laugh putting this together, though. A really good laugh, as you'll see in a minute, because I'm about to go through the joys of editing again and skip over this boring part, because it was... Actually, I'm not going to lie, this wasn't boring for me. This was very interesting. Checking all the parts, ticking it all off, making sure it's all organised together. But we are going to skip forward through the magic of editing. After reading the instruction list that said we needed lots of other bits like gloves and whatever, Dell decided we was going to go and do a full-scale risk assessment because we weren't going to be stupid. That's what the instruction manual said, and we were following it word for word. So we decided to take health and safety very seriously.
There's nothing there we should worry about. Now the ground's a bit uneven, so what I propose is if I go up the ladder, you hold it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Other than that, risk assessed.
It's a little bit windy.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to go less than like 1.5 meters.
Okay. Have you had training for working at heights?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Once I fell.
You realised hold on tighter. Okay, risk assessed, let's go. Here at Small Steps Building Company, we take health and safety very seriously. You got your high vises.
Ching.
We got eye protection.
Ching.
We've got all the gloves. Unfortunately, we did run out of hard hats, so we got a bin.
We improvised.
we've got a saucepan. But hey, site manager, very important, and we have our very politically correct 4-person.
Yeah.
Ready to start work?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go fall off a ladder.
I don't know where we get these ideas. Yep, that is indeed a small bin and a saucepan. Foreman, well, 4-person, and me, the site manager. I like being in charge. I like being the site manager. How good do we look in our health and safety gear? Which we promptly took off and then went to build. Although, I'll let you into a secret, okay? I went out, I put the bin on first. Cleaned, of course. I put the bin on my head first. With the site manager written on it, and then realised we needed high visibility jackets. Now I've got some high vis jackets in the car. They live in the car 24/7. I don't know why they're in there, but they're in there. So I went, ooh, we need them. Completely forgotten that this Wally had put a bin on her head with site manager written on it. I went wandering out to the car to get the high vises out. Now, I don't know if any of the neighbours have seen me. I don't know if anyone was passing, walking a dog. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was after the jackets that I needed out of the car. I then walked back in and realised it was still on my head. Yeah. I sincerely suspect there will be a lack of invites to any events that our neighbours having. Not that they invite us anyway, really. I think that one neighbour invited us to a party once many years ago, birthday party, and I got incredibly intoxicated, and well, let's just say we've not been invited to anything since. So now I'm wandering around in the street with a bin on my head. It's probably guaranteed that none of the neighbours are even going to remotely consider having us back in their homes, drunk or not. So yeah. Oh dear, I think I've just gone down in the neighbourhood's expectations. I didn't think I could fall any lower, but clearly I have. So there we go. Maybe if they watch the video, they'll realise I wasn't just being, I don't know, a bonkers person. I was doing it for a reason. Anyway, let's get on with building this Catio. So, page by page, I sat down and went through every single thing that we needed to build each section of this thing. The problem was, they give you the list of bits you need, which is fine, with a little picture so you know what each bit looks like and each bit's labelled. That's fine. But when you get to the instruction manual, it just tells you like what part you need. So now I've got to look at the part I need plus the instructions so I can figure out if that's the right part or not. Do you know what I mean? It's not got a little picture of it. It just sort of says the part number, or it had a picture of it but not the part number. So it was very hard to work out what I needed, but we got what we needed, dragged it out into the back garden. Finally, after another chit-chat about where everything needed to go, built the Catio. Now, because our garden is severely uneven, we needed to sort of not only put the the base of it down, but we had to dig a little trench and try and get the bottom of this thing even, because once it was all built, it probably wasn't going to be that easy to lift up, shift about and move around. So we did have to try and get it all even. And then I just stood there and read instructions while Dell built the thing. It was my job as site manager to read instructions and organise the equipment. I am not the engineer. I am not the person that puts the things together. That is Dell's job. He is the handy person, or the foreperson. I don't know if 4 people actually do work on job sites. And what's the difference between a foreperson and a manager, like a site manager? Is there a difference? Well, there was in our place. There is at Small Steps to Big Changes building company. There is a big difference. The site manager doesn't do much by way of manual labour. That is down to the foreperson. The site manager organises everything and makes sure that nobody wanders off unnecessarily, although Dell wandered off quite a bit. Oh, I want a cup of tea. Let's have a quick break. Let's stand here and assess things. So, yeah, I didn't really site manage very well at all. At the end of the day, though, we got it built. It did get really cold all of a sudden. So we went inside, wrapped up, put a little jumper hoodie thing on, wrapped up nice and warm. But then all of a sudden the sun decides to come back out and it suddenly gets really, really hot. I swear the weather in Britain at the moment is just having some serious mood swings. We're going from torrential rain to Florida heat in like the blink of an eye. Like 1 minute hail is falling and the next minute you can have a barbecue. You don't know what to do for the best. You've got to take out an entire suitcase with you, so you've got clothing for every eventuality. I don't know whether to pack an umbrella or a sun parasol some days. It is absolutely ridiculous. So we were constantly like jacket on, jacket off, jacket on, jacket off. And yeah, in the end, I just opted for sweating. I just left the jacket on. We did also have to, well, we didn't have to, but we did. We built the flipping thing. We were just about get ready to get the roof on, and then we realised we couldn't figure out how to secure it so the cat couldn't get out, because there's gaps, because obviously it's not designed to be a catio. There's gaps between the windows and the back door. So we had to try and figure out a way of getting the roof on, but also getting the chicken mesh on without the cat being able to escape. Well, that turned into a big project of its own, didn't it? I think probably about 2 hours was spent discussing how we could get the roof up without having a gap big enough for the cat to escape. Because the thing is, if we had loose wire somewhere, she would just push out through the loose wire. So we had to make sure the wire was attached somehow. And we couldn't attach it obviously through the window. So we had to make sure it would attach like to the brick building, so we could sort of nail it or staple it or something to the brick of the house. Oh, we lost so much time with that. In the end, we just opted for building it properly and then just sort of having a bit like snipped out for the back door, and then somehow work out how to attach the back door bits to the house so that the cat couldn't push her way out. Still actually yet to do that part of the catio. We've still got to zip tie it shut, and Alyssa still has to buy a hooded litter box for the cat, because we can't have the litter box downstairs, obviously with Woody. I'm not risking Woody with a gut impaction because, well, dogs are disgusting. Let's just put it that way. We don't need to go into that. Probably one of you might be out there eating your tea while you're watching this. So we need a hooded cat box so the cat can, do the business without causing too much of a problem. I'm thinking also it might be worth getting one that's got one of those collar things on. It works with like the microchip. The door only opens for the correct animal and won't open for a different animal, because then Woody won't be able to get his head in. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to it, I suppose. The way Nova is, to be fair, I don't think she's going to be coming out of Alyssa's room anytime soon. When we got her, for those of you who haven't heard the story, When we got baby Nova, she was a very scaredy kitty cat. Like, she wouldn't let you hold her. She wouldn't even let the people that owned her previously, they couldn't even hold her. We did get some basic story. They didn't speak very good English. There was something about a dog. Nova had been outside and become very scared. Now, I didn't think at 12 weeks old she should really be outside. I thought at 8 weeks old they could go to their new owners. They could leave mum. But they had to have their first set of inoculations 8 weeks, then their second set of inoculations at like 12 weeks, and only then could they be considered for going outside. So, I don't know. Anyway, Nova is with us now, and when her fear levels drop and she's a bit more relaxed, then we're going to see about getting her in the vets, get microchipped, get vaccinated, all that good stuff. We don't have any other cats that could bring her own catty diseases, and she can't get out of the house, so it's not like she needs microchipping or anything like that at the moment. She won't leave Alyssa's room. So for now, she's happy and safe, and we'll wait till she's calmed down before we stress her out with vets and whatever. And then she can go into her lovely, lovely Catio. We're going to get her, or I'm pressing Alyssa to get her a tracking monitor as well. Because if she does escape somehow, some way, then it makes sense that at least we've got that backup there that we can find her should she ever get out. But hopefully she never will. Anyway, we're going to put the chicken mesh on part of this now. And if you look at the skies, you can see the nasty weather is rolling in again. It was getting really quite late in the day. Myself and Dale were extremely tired. We'd worked really, really hard at this. I was due back at work tomorrow. I'd not been sleeping well, so we decided to call it a day once we got a bit of chicken wire on. And Dale was going to finish it up while I was at work. He still hasn't finished it up. So the Catio now joins my snag list with all the other good fun jobs I've got to get done, along with the housework as well, which has, again, taken a bit of a battering this week. I've done none of it. I swear, it's awful. But, lots of nice, juicy videos to come your way. I'm going to work through the snag list. We're going to get all these jobs done at some point, I promise you. But for now, there's just going to be lots of snag list videos while I try and catch up on everything. This is going to be the last bit of the Catio you'll see for now until it gets added onto another snag list video and gets finished. And Baby Nova gets to go out and play in it. Hopefully I'll show you that for the first time when she is ready to make her way out into the world. But for now, that's all from me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!